poetry, and we have tackled the characteristics of romantic poetry and the definition of romantic poetry by every romantic poet, and Wordsworth, Shelley, and Cutler. Okay? Our topic today, our lecture today, is William Blake's Songs of Innocence and Experience. Before starting with the analysis of the poems, we should look at the life of the poet, William Blake's life. William Blake was born in London, and although almost all of his work was written in the 18th century, he must be looked upon as the 19th century poet, okay? And must be looked upon as the first romantic poet, okay? Why? What do you think? We have said that all of his work was written in the 18th century. Why we should look at him as the first romantic poet? And that belongs more truly to the 19th century poetry. What do you think? Yes? Who knows the answer? No one? So, we have said that all of his work has written in the 18th century, but he belongs more truly to the 19th century poetry and must be looked upon as the first English romantic poet. What distinguishes him from the 18th century writers, that is the pre-romantic writers, is his conception of imagination, his use of symbol and myth, his views of nature, and he uses symbols and myth as central devices in his poetic style. For him, one power alone makes a poet: imagination, the divine vision. 18th century poets think that imagination is merely ability to visualize things, whereas Blake thinks that imagination is a means of knowledge. This means makes the man able to see the inner reality. Okay? Since he thinks that the invisible reality is the only truth, and the external world is merely an explanation or merely a symbol of that reality. Okay? And his view of nature stands in opposition to the mechanistic concept of the music. Thus, he sees the universe as an organic whole and not as a machine. Again, what distinguishes him as a romantic, however, is his revolt against every restraint which he sees that envies the rebellion. Okay, he sees he revolts against every restraint, as I said before, that he revolts against. Yes, exactly. لا من الغيب حسن الورق بس العيد من البداية بس بتجيهم على صوتهم.
Hey.
Good morning, students. You know that we have started with the romantic poetry and we have tackled the definition of romantic poetry by every romantic poet and also the characteristics of romantic poetry. Today, our lecture is about William Blake. William Blake was born in London where he spent almost all of his time there, in London. And although almost all of his work was written in the 18th century, he belongs more truly to the 19th century and must be looked upon as the first English romantic poet. This consideration belongs to many reasons. That what distinguishes him from the pre-romantic writers of the 18th century is his conception of imagination, his view of nature, and his use of symbol and myth as central devices in his poetic style. For him, one power alone makes a poet: imagination, the divine vision. For the 18th century poets, they think that imagination is merely a power to visualize things, or the ability to visualize things. Whereas for William Blake, imagination is a means of knowledge. It is a power through which a man can seize the reality. Since he sees that the invisible reality is the only truth, he says that mental things are alone real, and the external world is merely an explanation of that reality. He was a mystic and visionary, the one who sees angels in the trees. Okay? And his conception of the universe, he thinks that the universe is an organic whole and is not designed like a machine. Another consideration that distinguishes him as a romantic poet also that is his revolt against every restraint which he sees as causes evil. Okay? Against reason which increases joy. Against the social and the political systems of his life. And also, in addition to what we have mentioned before, although this writer looks at the eternal truth, he never dealt with the generalities and abstractions. For him, to generalize is to be an idiot, and to particularize is only a merit. Okay? This was his response to the prevailing views of the 18th century poets. Okay? But in addition to these, we must look that he was never been a popular writer. Okay, since till the end of the 19th century. Okay, but his songs of innocence and experience remained widely read and introduced an important contribution to English Romantic literature. His songs of innocence, the collections that we are going to study today, and from these collections we are going to study Lamb and Tiger. Songs of Innocence actually published in 1789, the year that is considered as the beginning of Romanticism in England. 4 years later, Songs of Innocence has published, okay? And in 1794, the two collections issued together and have given the name as Songs of Innocence and Experience, showing the two contrary states of the human soul. Okay? Without contraries, a plague said, without contraries is no progression. Attraction and repulsion, reason and energy, love and hate are necessary for human existence. And innocence, in his meaning of the word, is not only the state in which the man lives without sin, but it is the state in which he is responsive to vision. Okay? Whereas experience corrects the world and distorts his innocence, so that his previous innocence cannot be regained in its original form. It is only through the struggle of the two contrary states, through the struggle of innocence and experience, that harmony can be achieved. Okay? So, Songs of Innocence show the world seen by the child, where a man is able to love and to trust. Whereas Song of Experience show the world seen by a man that whom experience has taught to hate, okay, and to doubt, a world which is full of suffering. Okay? So the first poem we are going to tackle is The Lamb, which is from his Song of Innocence, from his first collection. Open your books on page 17. Yes, have you found it? Yes. The Lamb. Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? Gave thee life and did thee feed by the stream and over the mead? Gave thee clothing of delight, softest clothing, woolly bright. Gave thee such a tender voice, making all the vales rejoice. Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? Little lamb, I'll tell thee. Little lamb, I'll tell thee. He is called by thy name, for he calls himself a lamb. He is meek and he is mild. He became a little child. I a child and thou a lamb. We are called by his name. Little lamb, God bless thee. Little lamb, God bless thee. Yes, we can read. Yes, yes.
Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee?
Yes.
Gave thee life and did thee feed by the stream and over the mead.
Yes.
Gave thee clothing of delight, soft clothing, woolly bright.
Yes.
Gave thee such a tender voice,
Yes.
making all the bells rejoice. Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee?
Yes.
Little lamb, I will tell thee. Little lamb, I will tell thee. He is called by the name, for he calls himself a lamb. He's meek and he's mild.
Yes.
He became a little child. I a child, and thou a lamb.
And thou a lamb.
we are called by his name. Little lamb, God bless thee. Little lamb, God bless thee.
Yes, excellent. Thank you so much for us. Yes, Zahra.
This little lamb who made thee, doesn't thou know who made thee?
Yes.
Gave thee life under thy feet, by the stream and alloy thy need. Gave thee clothing of delight, softest clothing, woolly bright. Gave thee such a tender voice, making all the hills rejoice.
Yes.
Little lamb who made thee, dost thou know who made thee? Little lamb I will tell thee, little lamb I will tell thee. He is called by the name, for he calls himself a lamb. He is meek and he is mild. He became a little child. I a child, and thou a lamb, where are called by his name. Little lamb, God bless thee. Little lamb, God bless thee.
Yes, excellent. Thank you so much. We have said before that the lamb is from a collection that is Songs of Innocence. And actually it is one of the most celebrated poems in this collection. This poem actually tackles the subject of creativity and the creator alike. Okay? It is divided into two stanzas. The first stanza, as we have seen, that is composed of 10 lines, and the second one, it is also composed of 10 lines. Okay? As I said before, it tackles the subject of creativity and the creator. So the first stanza tackles the subject of creativity, and the second 10 lines tackle the subject of the creator. Okay? At the beginning, that the poem, or at the surface level, we can see that the poem speaks of a life of a real physical lamb. But on the end, we come to realize that he is layering meaning. I mean, the narrator is layering meaning, or the speaker in this poem is layering meaning with subtext derived from both the Christian and the classical mythology. We come to know that here the lamb is a reference for Jesus Christ first, and it is a physical incarnation of God. Okay? Here we have come to know the fact that here Blake has started with a simple image and starts to approaching it from different angles in order to show the reader a better understanding of his nature, of his vision of divine creation. Okay? So, the central symbolic image of this poem is the lamb, which is a symbol of innocence. We have said that before, that the first stanza tackles the creation of the lamb. Here, the speaker says that this lamb it is blessed with the gift of life and with the capacity to drink from the streams and to feed from the meadows. And is also covered with soft, warm wool, okay, which serves as a clothing. Okay? And it is informed in a fact that is in form of the questions. I mean, the first stanza. And the second stanza, the speaker knows the answer. Okay, or reveals the answer. He tells the lamb, I know your creator. Okay, I know your creator, that is God. Okay, so we have said before that the lamb here is the central symbolic image in this poem. Okay, with the identification we said that it is a reference for Jesus Christ. Here the identification is not with the Christ sacrifice, but with his innocence, tenderness, and love. Okay? Well, the identification mean here that is the state of innocence is a divine vision. Okay? And the vision that is seen by the child also is a divine vision. Okay? It is a divine state, the innocence state is a divine state, and the vision seen by the child is a divine vision. Okay? Another reference for the lamb is his, that is the lamb as an animal. Okay, we have said that is the first reference for Jesus Christ. Okay, and the reference for his innocence, tenderness, and love. The second reference, that is the lamb is an animal. That is the physical, real animal. Okay, in order to show a place view of this universe. Thus, the child looks at the lamb the same as he is. Okay, that means what? That he feels unity with nature. And again, the reference to the lamb, that it is a physical incarnation of the deity, means what? Means God. Okay? In order to show that God is also meek and mild. Okay? God is also meek and mild. Here, the poet wants to show that the child and the lamb live in the same universe, and this universe is protected by God. Okay? In the second poem that we are going to tackle, that is the tiger, we are going to know how this innocence is going to be destroyed. So open your books on page 20. That is the tiger, which is from the collection that is Songs of Experience. Yes. The tiger. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night. What immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? In what distance deeps or skies burn to the fire of thy night? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what out could it twist the swines of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? What the hammer, what the chain, and what appearance was thy brain? What the anvil, what dread grasp, dares deadly tears clasp? When the stars throw down their spurs, and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? Ya Zahra.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame the fearful symmetry? In what distant deeps or skies burned the fire of thin eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what art could twist the snares of the heart?
Yes.
And when the heart
Thy heart
began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet?
Yes.
What the hammer, what the chain, and what phrase was the brain? What
Yes.
the anvil, what dread grasp? There's deadly terrors clasp.
Yes.
When the stars flew down their spurs
Yes.
and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamp make me?
Maybe.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night, what mortal hand or eye dare frame the fearful symmetry?
Yes, excellent. Thank you so much. Yes, who else? Yes, come on.
Tiger, 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 burning bright in the forces of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame the fearful symmetry?
Fearful symmetry.
In what distant depths or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he spy?
Yes.
What behind the dark says the fire?
Yes.
And what shoulder and what arm could twist the snares of the heart?
Yes.
And when thy heart began to beat, what great hand and what great feet? What the hammer, what the chain? In what form
Utterance was thy brain.
brain? What the anvil, what great grasp? There is deadly tearless clasp when the stars threw down their spurs and watered heaven with their tears. Did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamp make thee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the frost of the night, what immortal hand or eye therefore frame the fearful symmetry?
Yes, excellent. Thank you so much. We have said that every poem and the Songs of Innocence has its contemporary and the Songs of Experience. So here, tiger stands in contrast to the lamb. In contrast to the mild lamb, here we have the tiger, which represents the first and terrifying side of nature, whereas the lamb we have said that represents the tenderness and love and the mild aspects of nature. Here the tiger represents the first and the terrifying side of nature. The central metaphor in this description, in the description of the tiger is fire. If you have seen the line, that the central metaphor here is the fire. Here the fire is a symbol for what? It's a symbol for passion and for what? For its consuming destructive forces. For a plague, fire is a symbol for anger, and also not for its destructive forces, but a reference to the creative power of God. Okay, so the creation of the tiger, as we have said, is not as simple as the creation of the lamb. Okay, the creation of the lamb is simple, that God has blessed it with the gift of life, just made it and gave it a tender voice, and what else? And give it a clothing. Okay, but here the creation of the tiger stands in opposition, since the creation of the tiger manipulates two things: power and beauty. Okay, the poet actually wants to say here that is the first passion embodied in the tiger is the power which is going to destroy this universe. Okay, and the forest, if you see the line, that the forest of the night, tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night. The forest of the night, that is in which the tiger is going to burn, is a reference for what? For experience. Okay, you remember? We have said that the lamb is a reference for innocence. Here, the forest of the night in which the tiger is going to burn is a reference for experience. This experience is going to destroy the innocence. Okay? And what was thus lost, the innocence, which will be regained to the universe through the first passion of the tiger. Okay? And another reference for the forest, that is a reference for rebellion. Okay? That is rebellion against every restraint. And with this meaning, a place is a true romantic. You remember we have said before that what makes him romantic, that is his rebellion against every restraint. Okay? So the poet wants to point out here that the creation of the tiger is a difficult way that is beyond human comprehension. Okay? Since in this creation, power and beauty are combined. And he refers to many things, that is the eyes, the shoulders, the brain, everything which is found in the tiger. Okay? You remember, do you see that? The question mark here, that is, we have some unleft questions, okay? And some question mark here. The questions here, just like, unlike the lamb, we have said that in the lamb, the first stanza is an informed question, whereas the second stanza comes as an answer, okay? Because the child does not hesitate to give the answer that your creator is God. But here, the questions are left without answer, okay? Why? What is the reason? In order to explain the awe and the admiration for the first power embodied in the tiger. Okay? To show that it is a mystery that cannot be explained. Okay? And everything here mentioned is meant, by the poet. Okay? So the question mark in the 18th century used for both, for questions and for exclamations. Okay? And the rhythm, again, the rhythm of the poem, the incomplete questions, all these show the strength and the violence. What do you think? What is the message that the poet is going to convey to us? Okay? We all know that the one who creates the lamb is the same one who creates the tiger. But here, the speaker is hesitant to give the answer. Okay? Because we have said that the creation of the tiger stands beyond what? Beyond the human comprehension. Okay? And the questions here are left unanswered in order to show the awe and the admiration and the mystery that cannot be explained. What is the message that the poet wants to convey to us? Is he want to convey to us that God is violent? We have said before in the land that God is meek and mild. Okay? So, with the creation of the tiger, what does he want to convey to us? Do you have an idea? Actually, the message that the poet wants to convey to us as readers, that is, strength and violence are needed together in the universe with minds. Okay? We have said before that every poem in Songs of Innocence have their contemporaries in the Songs of Experience. The message that the poet wants to convey to us, that is, the fierceness and the violence, destructive forces are needed together in this universe with mildness. Okay? Why? In order to achieve the ultimate harmony, so that the fearful symmetry can be achieved. This is the end of our lecture. If you have any question, any comments, any addition, I'm ready to hear. So, no question? Yes, thank you so much.